Hello friends, now we will study Article 2 of the Indian Constitution in the topic Union and its territory. Let us see what it says. Article 2, it basically talks about internal readjustment. How we are going to study every aspect of this article, but just one theme I want to clear. Article 2, it talks about external adjustment. Now, Article 2, it empowers Parliament, which means powers are given in the hands of Parliament. So, whenever I am using a word Parliament or powers of the Parliament, so the word Parliament or powers of Parliament are synonymous with the law made by Parliament. So, this Article 2 gives power to Parliament to make laws relating to two important aspects. One, admitting new state into the Indian Union or establishing new state into the Indian Union. These two things are very important. Now, admission of states which were already in existence and that we are admitting those states into the Indian Union means a state exists already, but that state is not in India and we are admitting that state into the India. For example, Sikkim. Sikkim was present as a state, but it was not in India. So we admitted Sikkim into the India. So it is about admitting new state into the India, right? So this is basic thing. Next one is establishing new state, means a territory is there. It is not recognized as a state. It is just only a territory having some form of government, having people, some form of territory. And we want to establish a state over there, and once a state is established, we are taking that state inside the India. So it is establishment of a state which was not in existence before. So basically remember Article 2, it talks about admitting new state into the Indian Union as well as it talks about establishment of new state into the Indian Union. So Article 2, it talks about external adjustment. Remember this theme of the topic, it talks about external adjustment regarding the states. Article 2 talks about admission or establishment of new states that are not part of the Indian Constitution. This we have studied just few minutes back. Now, coming to Article 3. Article 3, it talks about internal adjustment. Like Article 2 talks about external adjustment, Article 3 talks about internal adjustment. Now, what it says? See, it is very simple thing. It says, again, Article 3 gives power to Parliament. Article 2, it gives power to Parliament. Article 3 also gives power to Parliament. What are those powers? Article 3 gives power to Parliament for reorganization of the states. It means Parliament can increase the area of any state, it can decrease the area of any state, or it can change the name of any state. I repeat once again, Article 3 gives powers to Parliament for reorganization of the state. Reorganization of state means increasing the area of state, decreasing the area of state, or changing the name of a particular state. Also, it gives power to the Parliament to form a new state, form a completely new state by separation of a territory from any state. For example, let us say this is Maharashtra and Parliament wants to establish a new state by carving out a territory from the Maharashtra. So this part comes under Article 3. A new state by separation of a territory from any state or by uniting any territory to a part of any state. So this is basic about Article 3. Article 3, it talks about internal adjustment. So again I repeat this thing, Article 2 talks about external adjustment, Article 3 it talks about internal adjustment. But when the bill for internal adjustment is presented in the Parliament, the bill has to fulfill two important conditions. That is, any bill put under Article 3 must have, first thing, prior recommendation of the President. It means President must give his assent before putting the bill into the Parliament. So this is first important precondition regarding any bill put under Article 3, that the bill must have prior recommendation of the President of India. Second, President will refer that bill to the concerned state legislature for expression of its views within a specific period. That is, let us say if Parliament wants to change name of a particular state, let us say they want to change name of a particular state to any other state. Now this bill must have prior recommendation of President of India. And second, this bill which is changing name of a particular state shall be sent to the legislature of that particular state, to the state assembly of that particular state, and President shall ask that state assembly to express their views within specific time period. Now here remember one thing, this specific time period is not defined within the constitution. It means it shall be discretionary power of the president to decide in which time period the state legislature or the state assembly should give their views to the President of India. And here the discretion of president means discretion of prime minister and council of minister. So it means indirectly president shall refer the bill to state legislature for getting their views within specific time period. This specific time period shall be the discretionary power of the President of India. Now, when that bill goes to that state legislature and that state legislature expresses their views, let us say that state says that we don't want to change our name. In this case, the views expressed by that state are not binding upon the President of India. I repeat once again, the views expressed by that state are not binding upon the President of India. It means President is not bound by the views of the state assembly. Now third or next one, very important point from prelims point of view. UPSC many a time asks question on these kinds of tricky lines. It is not necessary to make fresh references to state legislature every time and again when amendment to the bill is moved and accepted in the parliament. It means once a bill is referred to state legislature and when that bill comes back to President of India, any amendment which is being moved and in that particular bill will not be referred to state legislature time and again. Once it comes back from state legislature, it shall not be referred to state legislature second time. And last very important point, the changes that are being made under Article 3 are by simple majority. Very important point. I repeat once again, the changes made under Article 3 of the Indian Constitution are by simple majority. Now, what are the provisions in Article 3 about Union Territory? So, like state, Article 3 itself gives power to Parliament regarding Union Territory. What it says? It says, power of Parliament to form new state includes power to form a new state or Union Territory by uniting a part of any state or Union Territory to any other state or Union Territory. This is very important thing that you must remember. No need to make reference to concerned state legislature, to take its views. For example, if Parliament wants to make any changes in Delhi or Puducherry, in that case, the President shall not recommend that bill for expressing or for getting views of the legislature of Delhi or Puducherry. It is not binding upon the President of India. President shall send bill only to concerned state legislature but not to the legislature of Union Territories. I repeat once again, President shall send the bill for taking views of the concerned state legislature but not the views of the concerned Union Territory. Parliament can take itself any decision as it deems fit and necessary. I repeat once again, Parliament can take any decision as it deems fit and necessary. Parliament shall be the competent authority to decide regarding any changes or anything regarding Union Territory. Parliament is the completely wholesale authority. That's why this is very important line. India is an indestructible union of destructible state. Remember this line from prelims point of view. India is an indestructible union of destructible state. It means the union or the nation as an India cannot be destroyed, but states are destructible. That is, a state's area can be increased, it can be decreased, its name can be changed with just power of the Parliament. It means we have destructible states, but our union is not destructible. Whereas in case of USA, it is an indestructible union. It means no state can move away from that federation of USA, and even states in USA are indestructible. States also cannot be moved out of that particular union. States are also indestructible part. Try to remember these two lines, very important. India is an indestructible union of destructible states, whereas USA is described as an indestructible union of destructible states. Very important part. Then comes Article 4. Now what Article 4 says? It says that laws made for admission or establishment of new state under Article 2. It means any law that is made under Article 2, that is laws about external adjustment, and laws made for formation of new states and alteration of area boundary or names of existing states under Article 3, that is internal adjustment, are not to be considered as amendment of the constitution under Article 368. Or in simple terms, Article 4 says any law that is being made for Article 2 and 3 need not be treated an amendment under Article 368 of the Indian Constitution. Why? Because we are going to make changes in Article 2 and Article 3 by simple majority, and we have seen in Article 368 those changes into the Constitution that are being made by simple majority are just only cosmetic changes. They are not fundamental changes, and they can be made by just only simple majority of the Parliament of India. So this is the basic idea. Before going forward, I just want to give you brief review. Article 2 talks about external adjustment, Article 3 talks about internal adjustment, and Article 4 says any changes that are made in states or union territories as per Article 2 and 3 need not be treated as amendment under Article 368 of the Indian Constitution, because the changes that are being made under Article 2 and 3 are made by simple majority, and they are just only cosmetic changes. They are not fundamental changes. So keep watching the lecture, keep watching the video, and keep sharing the videos. Your suggestions, welcomes and questions are always welcome. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Thank you.